The Lord sent a prophet to them. He said, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I brought you out of Egypt, the land of slavery. I saved you from the Egyptians and from all those who were against you. I forced the Canaanites out of their land and gave it to you. Then I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Live in the land of the Amorites, but do not worship their gods. But you did not obey me." So God is reminding them through a prophet again what He has done for them in the past and what He told them to do. It says very clearly, "I am the Lord your God. Live in the land, but do not worship their gods."
Amen.
And that's what the children of Israelites tended to always do. Get their eyes up for God and begin to worship the idol gods of the people of that land that they inhabited. And I think in the New King James it refers to them as Balaam, which I kind of looked that up, and it was pretty much any god that they worshiped. It was not one particular god, it was any god. I think there was one god in the King James Version that mentioned it was the god of fertility. I can't remember the actual name of it, but Balaam was just any idol god that they chose to worship. You could make a stick god and put it up, and people start worshiping it and everything. It didn't matter what it was made of: gold, wood, stone. It was a god, and they call it Balaam, and they worship it. So they were worshiping anything. It didn't matter, but they weren't worshiping the one true God.
Amen.
So now we're going to get to the heart of the matter. Starting at chapter 11, it's when Gideon is visited by an angel. Let me look at my notes here, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. And it says in verse 11, chapter 6, it says, "The angel of the Lord came and sat down under the oak tree at Ophrah." I think, again, I'm not sure about that pronunciation. That belonged to Joash, one of the Abrazites' people. Gideon, Joash's son, was separating some wheat from the chaff in a winepress to keep the wheat from the Midianites. So here we are, we got this angel that comes down, finds Gideon by a tree with some wheat, and he's doing this thing with the wheat. But the key thing is, keep the wheat from the Midianites. He was hiding. He was doing it in secret because he didn't want the Midianites to come and take what little food he had.
Amen.
And then it says, "The angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon and said, 'The Lord is with you, mighty warrior.'" And in King James Version, it calls him a mighty man of valor, which either way is a mighty warrior or he was brave. But you look back at verse 11 again, he's hiding. Amen. How brave is he? He's hiding. He's got this food and he's hiding it from his enemy so they won't get it. Do you really think Gideon thought he was brave? I don't think he thought he was that brave because he was hiding this food to keep it out of the sights of his enemy. But this angel comes to him and says, "You are a mighty warrior." How many mighty warriors do you know were found hiding? Not too many are hiding. They're not hiding out. I'm a mighty warrior, but even our culture today, our superheroes, Superman. I mean, he hid his identity, but when he became Superman, he was out in the open. Batman, he hid his identity, but when he was out, he was out. He wasn't hiding away all the time. But the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon and said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." But I don't think Gideon, like I said, I don't think he thought himself as being a mighty warrior or a brave person. And then verse 13, verse 13 says, "Then Gideon said, 'Sir, if the Lord is with us, why are we having so much trouble?'" So the first thing Gideon does is what we do. We start complaining. We start questioning the Lord. Amen. Well, if this is so, then why is this happening to me? Why is this going on? Why are you letting this happen? And if we stop and think, if Gideon had stopped and think, or thought, he would have seen, well, this is our fault because what did we do wrong? We took our eyes off of God. We stopped worshiping God. So Gideon is questioning the angel here. Why are we having so much trouble? He said, "Where are the miracles our ancestors told us he did when the Lord brought them out of Egypt? But now he has left us and has handed us over to the Midianites." So Gideon here, he's questioning the angel, well, if the Lord is with us, then why we got all this trouble? Why is our enemy taking us over? What happened to what happened to all the stories that our ancestors told us about coming out of Egypt?